You never want to have to, but you have to want to.
This is your first day in real estate, and I am your real estate sales trainer and coach, James Festini. And this is the program that's going to teach you how to sell more real estate in less time.
You don't have your back up against a wall. Maybe there's some reason why you don't have to do this real estate thing. You want to, but you don't have to. But you never have to if you don't want to. You never want to have to, but you have to want to. You never want to have to do it. If I told you that you have to make your calls, if I told you you have to hit the doors, you won't hit the doors. Because you're like, I don't have to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't have to do that. But if I told you that you would generate leads much faster than any other platform, that you would be able to obtain names and numbers of individual homeowners in your interest area, not just obscure hand raisers on the internet who maybe don't even have any interest in making a move, but that you would get the name and the number and the address of somebody in your immediate area who might be interested in selling, that's a lead. Do you want one? Because if you want one, then you have to make your calls. Oh, I don't have to do that. Well, then what are you doing? Well, I want to just sit back and make it happen like that. Well, guess what? The law of attraction is a bunch of crap. You can want to all you want, but you're not going to get it because you have to do the work. If I sit here on the phones and I make 100, 200 contacts a day, and I come back to you since I've been broadcasting, let's say months and months later, and I say, guys, since January 2021, I've closed 120 GCI, probably like 100 grand, 110 grand in my bank account from the beginning of the new year. You'd be like, show off, man. All right, man. Some people might be inspired. Some people are like, what a dick, what a show off. But if I was a bodybuilder or if I was a fitness enthusiast and I lifted up my shirt and I had a six pack, would you say, what a jerk, you show off? Or would you be like, damn, I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that. Oh man, I want a six pack. No, you don't. You don't have to. When somebody, a lot of people change their habits like diet and exercise when they have to, right? They have a heart attack, or the doctor says you're going to stroke out, or, like something has to happen to you for you to change your habits. Me included, you know? I look in the mirror and I still think I look all right. I look at the scale and I'm like, oh man, I have to lose weight. But I don't want to. Yes, maybe I want to, but do I want it bad enough? How many of you have seen a musician own a guitar or a piano sitting at home and you bought this musical instrument because you really wanted to? And it's still sitting there doing nothing. It looks great, right? You bought a real expensive piano or a real expensive guitar, but you never learned. Hell, I've had a guitar for 40 years now. I play a couple, one or two songs, but I'm definitely not someone who could play the guitar. Definitely not someone who's been playing the guitar for 40 years, right? You have to want to do this. I say this about technology. I feel like because I was born in 1972, anybody who's born right in that, 1970 to 75, there is a high probability that you either completely missed the boat on technology or you latched on and you figured it out. There's no I know a little bit. It's either like you get it or you don't, right? You know just enough to do a couple of things, but you don't want to do it. It's like you use your phone for a phone and that's it. You couldn't actually power use it, right? But if you wanted to, the reason I'm so technologically savvy, why I know so much about technology, is because I want to. When the new iPhone comes out, I haven't done it in years. But when the new iPhone was being released, I've stayed the night at the Apple store 3 times in my life because I want it that bad. Not that I have to have the phone, but I have to hold its potential so that because I want to push the envelope. I want to learn more. And it's demonstrated in my skills with the technology and the video primarily when you see my monthly market updates. If you go on my YouTube channel, you see like the market update. I'm doing the picture in picture. There's where it shines. There's where I spend a little bit of time with what I've learned, right? I believe I can produce if I had time, or if I, if I wanted to produce a video, a movie, a short film, I could, but I don't have to, right? A book. I've got like 2 or 3 books half started, several books just sitting there. I don't have to. And when I started, I wanted to, but I didn't finish because I don't have to. I'm like, I lost interest. How many of you are losing interest in real estate because you don't feel it's coming together, right? Because you don't have to, because you don't have your back up against the wall. So many of my students, or whatever you want to call them, come to me and go, James, I need to sell a house. And I say, okay, great. Tell me about where your money's at. Like, well, I sold one house last year. I said, how did you manage to pay me for the one-on-one coach? Oh, my significant other has a job. I'm like, not that that's a bad thing, but I think to myself, they don't have to, right? You don't have to sell real estate. See, me, I don't have a choice. If I don't sell a house every 2 weeks, a month, I mean, in my new territory, I could survive with one house a month. I'm talking survive. Like, we're talking cup of noodles, right? Not even the good stuff. There'll be no vacations, but it's because I have to. And right now, over the last couple of months, because I've done so well, I'm slacking. And there's a phrase in the real estate business that goes something like this: that the money you make today is was earned 3 months ago, 6 months ago, right? Meaning that the work you put in today, you get paid for later. What if I told you, though, that the work you put in today, you're going to get paid for 6 months or a year? Because if I put my finger on my last 10 transactions that I did since the beginning of the year, and I said, where did they come from and when did they begin? And I told you one of them was a 4-year follow up. One of them was about a year. One of them was about a year and a half to 2 years. Another one was a 10-year follow up. You'd be like, nope, I'm out. But what if I told you that summer is coming? Going back to my diet analogy. What if you said, hey, you know what? I want to have a beach body by summer, right? I want to have a beach body by summer. It is now almost April. You need to start eating very, very healthy, like almost fast, right? Snake juice, I would say. If you want to get in shape ultra fast, you're going to have to do some extreme stuff, right? There's one called 75 hard or 72 hard, or the snake diet. If I had to lose 50 pounds by April, I'm sorry, not April, by June, I know exactly how to do the snake diet. I don't have to. I want to, but I don't have to. Now, what if, let's say, Bravo, the TV channel company, said, you know what, James, we've discovered you. Because I've always felt like my life, my lifestyle, the world that I live in and how I operate, it deserves a TV show. Because I've seen other TV shows and they're piles of crap. So I feel like I deserve a TV show on my own with my family. I think we got a sitcom for sure. But what if they said, James, we're going to start filming in June, right? I would immediately be mortified by my dad bod right now. I'd be like, oh, hell no. June 1st, it's on. Like, I probably pour crazy glue on all my teeth and clamp down. No, then I'd be weird for my listing presentation. So don't get any ideas. But I would mentally staple my mouth shut and go so strict on the snake diet, for example, that my weight, you lose the snake diet, you lose a pound a day. No, you don't not lose weight, but it's very, very hard. But if I had that kind of thing, that would be I have to. Man, Bravo TV is going to send their crew. I got a pool. there's definitely gonna be a moment where my shirt's gonna be off on that TV show. There's definitely gonna be a moment where like I have to show that I'm a functional, like I couldn't show that I sleep in till like 7. I mean, during the winter I get up at about 4:30, 5 o'clock, but it's right around about a month, 2 months ago, I started sleeping till like 7. Sunday I didn't get up till 9:30. I couldn't do that if a TV network was about to film me. I'd be mortified. I'd be like, there's no way that I could be a public leader or a character like Ryan Searhan. Much respect to him. He gets up early, he works out, but look what he's accomplishing with his life. I've been getting really deep on Ryan Searhan. He's a pretty interesting character. From Million Dollar Listing, the guy with the gray hair, real dynamic personality. He's living the life that I somewhat live, but not to his fame. But I do have the interest in having a business. I do have the real estate. I do, what I'm getting at is you don't want to have to, but you have to want to. How badly do you want it? Do you want it so bad that it is just a single-minded focus? Do you, those of you who have been in the business for a couple months, years now, and you're starting to get sloppy, right? How bad do you want it? Remember when you first entered the business, man, you couldn't stop telling everybody you were in real estate. And then you got cynical, you got bitter, you got exposed to it. Now it's like, right? When you first hit this business, or when you first got, like when you first get these things, that's why I enjoy the new technology, the newness of something that inspires me. It doesn't take much at all. Like right now, I'm hounding my wife for a camera, right? I want my camera back. But here, I wouldn't be able to do this. I'd have to go back in and edit. So it's not practical. It's the same camera. If you guys have been following my vlog, I've purchased and returned this camera, the Sony ZV-1. I would say 5 times in the last year. I want it, but when I have it, I feel like it's $1,000 that I don't know, it's not my thing. But like getting a new bike, right? What if you say, you know what, I want to start losing weight, I want to start riding a bike, and you could get a new bike, and all of a sudden that bike is like, yeah, and then what if you latch onto it, and you embrace it, and it becomes a part of your lifestyle. When I first bought my bike, it was like 3 grand, right? It was a lot of money to buy the bike. But I got on that bike and I didn't get off for like 40 pounds, right? I mean, I lost a ton of weight. I was doing a century at least once a month within a couple of months. And a century is 100 miles. It's like 3, 4, 5 hour riding where I would just be gone. I was gone like Monday mornings. I was gone like more than I should have been. I should have been working a lot of that. You do those things and you're gone longer, but I wanted it. I really, really wanted it. And it wasn't a have to, I wanted it. What do you do? Put in the comments below. Tell me what you really want and what you really have to do. And do they line up? I have to sell real estate. I have to sell. I have no choice. I don't have any other skills. I'm not going to go out and be like a social media consultant or a life coach because that's really the only skills I would have that are transferable is like my technology and a life coach. Come on, there's too many of those that, I don't know that I'd be good enough at that. I'm only good at residential real estate. I'm only good at lead generation and follow up. I'm only good at so few things. So thank God I can do this. Thank God I've embraced this. Thank God I want to. I mean, for me, like my dad never let me touch the camcorder, right? If he would have said, "Here, son, go ahead and use it, just don't break it." What infinite possibilities I would have had. I always saw his camcorder up in the closet since I was 8 or 9 years old, and I'd be like, "Dad, let's see, nothing." There's no video. My dad always had a camcorder in the house. I kid you not, there is no video of me earlier than 20 years old, 18, 19 years old. He never used it. For me, I feel like I wanted that. And as soon as I was old enough and I growed up, I thought, I'm going to get one. And as soon as I think my first video camera is 2 megapixels, like a regular camera, but it was 1993, 4, 5, 6, right when I was licensed, and I started taking my own photos and videos, and I started embracing the technology. And I'll never forget the first time I was looking at the computer, and I was at a Staples, and I went there, and it was with a buddy of mine, And I don't even know how I knew to do this because I've been working with DOS. I was already I was already in real estate. I would say 93, 94, right? Just before Windows, when Windows was released. I think those released like 93, 94. And I went into Staples with my buddy, and I was using Top Producer. That's how long ago it was. Top Producer used to be in DOS. And for those of you who don't know who that is, then you're just not old enough, to know. But anyhow, I went into the computer, and I'll never forget the place, the time, everything. And I walked up to the computer, and I go, "Hey, Charlie, come here." And I walked up to it, and I wiggled the mouse, the little trackpad, and there was a little record button at the top, right? And I hit record, and I said, "Hello, testing, testing. This is me speaking into a microphone, I think. Stop." Press played back. "Hello, hello." And it was like a 10. I was like, "Oh," I swear angels flew out of that tiny little tiny speaker. And I went, "Charlie, come here." I go, "Watch this." "Hello, hello. This is me speaking on the microphone playback." He was like, "Whoa, what just happened?" I mean, it was that shocking. And just 30 years later, right? 30 years later, 28 years later, look at what we're doing. Look at what I'm doing. But it was because the second I saw that I had to have it, I wanted it so bad. And I was in real estate and I go, "I have to have this computer. I have to have this computer." And from there, it was just this passion and desire. I had to have it and I wanted it really bad. So in the comment section below, I want you to write this statement. Those of you, please take this commitment. Mark this, earmark this, put a digital footprint, put a little stamp in the universe that maybe one day after you put this out there into the universe and you come back a year later, or you're watching some of my videos, or somehow, somewhere it'll come back around. So if you're watching this in 2021 when I release it, and then you're watching again in 2025 and you happen to see it again, right? And you find your comment, please don't let this slide. Put in there what you have to. Say, "I have to dot dot dot." And then on the next line put, "I want to dot dot dot." For me, I have to sell real estate. So how do I connect that? I want to see my bank account grow. This sudden surge, this windfall after so much work, right? Seeing that got me jacked up and saying, "How much more can I make? How much more can I make?" So I got reinvigorated and I started focusing on the individuals like the Ryan Searhans of the world, right? Where I can see, or the Gary Vaynerchuk's, or the Grant Cardones, where I can think bigger. Even though I'm slightly cynical now because I feel like I know it all, I'm nobody and I haven't grown. So I have to sell real estate. I want to be great at it. I want to be better. I have to then make 100 calls a day minimum. I have to make 200 calls a day. I want to get more listings. Am I going to be able to connect the have to and the want to in the same industry? I have to finish my book. I have to finish. It's I don't even know the title. I think it's called dynamic door knocking. So I think it'd be dynamic dialing or something. I don't even know what it is. Like 5 precepts of. But it's about telemarketing and lead generation and follow up. It's my formula. There's a book, The Festini Formula, Beast Mode Legion. I have several books started. I have to do that. I started a screenplay completely like separate. It's a comedy about like realtors. It's about real estate, but it's funny, I think. I want to finish that. I don't have to, right? So I could put that in there and say, I I have to. No, I don't have to. I want to, but you know what? I have to. I have to lose some weight. I'm still ridiculously overweight. I have to lose this weight. I want to look good. I want to be healthy. I want to be lighter. I want to run a sub 4 hour marathon. The closest I got was like 5 hours and 1 minute. I believe I can, right? Sub 4 hour marathon. If I lost the weight, I might even be able to do sub three. I'm a great runner. With all this weight, I can still put on the mileage. So why not? I have to. What do you have to do? What do you want to do? And can you put those two together? Please, please don't let this down. Please don't let me down on this one. Don't let yourself down. You never want to have to, but you have to want to. You never want to have to sell real estate, but you have to want to sell real estate. You have to want it. If you're not willing to embrace it, if you're not willing to work hard for it, if you're not willing to go out and put in the time, if you're not willing to make the effort, to get the results. If you're just passively waiting, this is the most incredible real estate market you'll ever see. I've been doing this 3 decades. I've seen this twice, maybe once, twice, where when a listing, it's sold. Right now, a listing for me, from the moment I get the contract to the moment I get paid, is less than 30 days. It's like 25 days on each one of these. The last 15, 20 listings I've sold, from the moment I got the contract to the moment I got a paycheck, was less than a month. But getting the listing was not less than a month. Getting the person to sign the contract. But listen, my friends, if you don't understand that as this pandemic lifts, right? As the world starts opening up, hopefully, I don't know, right? As it starts loosening up, you're going to have a lot of homeowners who are saying, I better get out of here. Like now, enough is enough. My health and safety are now protected. I need to. They're gonna start panic selling. They're gonna start feeling like I got to get out. I got to run. Right. I want to get the hell out of this market before it crashes. Not that I'm gonna say it will, because I didn't see the last one coming. I mean, there was a moment where I was sitting at a table, and 2007 or eight, and I was doing the net sheet, and all of a sudden they didn't have money, and it was like a fuse blew. I was going, "Where's your money?" Like, I don't know. I said, and then I saw another one and another one. All of a sudden, I was in listing presentations where there was no equity, and then the market crashed. Here, I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that that there's a false bottom, right? I believe personally it's going to be inflation that's going to really mess with it, right? Supply chains and like all of the turmoil of the world, maybe that. But regardless of what we speculate, had you started when you first met me, had you begun your journey into what it is that I teach, and you applied the principles that I teach you, and hell, you actually dropped $1,500 for 12 hours of my time, because that seems fair enough. I do the one-on-one training. You go to jamesfestini.com/training, and you can buy my time. I think that's a pretty damn good price. For $1,500, you'll get me an hour a week for the next 3 months. Or we just squeeze the 12 hours as fast as we can possibly do it. That's $125 an hour, right? Something like that. I think that's probably very good price for access to me. But more importantly, your access to the knowledge that you need to obtain to fast track this. If you only knew me before, you wouldn't you wouldn't be worrying right now. If you are a buyer's agent right now, you are really in a bad place, right? I won't take a buyer right now. I just refer them. You couldn't hand me a buyer. If someone says, "I've got money, I want to buy," I'd be like, "Let me refer it." I can't touch it, because it is so hard to get a listing for an offer in front of a buyer. The last four or five I had walked away from me. They're just like, I don't like this take it or leave it attitude. I go, it's not me putting the rules down. I go, either you take it or leave it. I don't know how else to put it. It's really hard. But as the listing agent, I'm the king, right? I'm fair. I'm fast. I equalize it, but I'm there to get my seller the money, and I'm there to wrap it up as fast as possible. And that's not a bad place to be, my friends. If only you knew how good it was. Have you had a listing in the last 6 months? If you haven't, you need to scrape up that $1,500 and buy my time. Because guess what you're going to have the next 6 months? Probably no listings. The inventory sucks. But I tell you what, if you generate leads, like I can guarantee you that if you hire me as a one-on-one student, as a one-on-one coach, and you actually commit, I promise to you that within that 3 months, you will have a database of no less than 100 bona fide listing leads. You don't think if you had 100 names and numbers and email addresses of people who live in your neighborhood or in your region, that you couldn't list one of those? I guarantee you will, unless you do something wrong. My system does not fail. I can do it in any town, USA. I've done it here. I began in 2016 and reinvented myself in front of the camera to prove that my system works. From zero, I'm crushing it. I want you to join me. I want you to commit. I want you to want it. You don't have to get the coaching. You might want it. But the only people who sign up to be a one-on-one student of mine is because they have to. And that's the worst kind of student for me, is when they say, I have to do it. I have to get the. I said, well, here's what you have to do. It's like someone going in to get a personal trainer, and they pay them the money to go get the personal trainer, and they walk in and say, I have to lose all this weight. And the personal trainer says, I'm shredded. Let's do it. And you come in the first week, and then you come in the second week, and we weigh you in. And I weigh you in by the amount of leads you're generating. We start immediately getting you leads. You get your own leads because the 1 hour that we spend doesn't make up the difference. The 1 hour you spend at the gym isn't going to lose that weight. And then the next week you come in, the next week you come in. By the fourth week, if you're not generating leads, if you're not at the personal trainer losing weight, the personal trainer is going to go in there and say, I can look and see on your Instagram post you've been eating donuts. I see you standing there at the pizza parlor. I see you with the shots, right? I see you with the drinks. What did you do on that vacation? What are you doing? And I can see it based on your dialer stats, your Mojo dialer. I can see you've been eating too many donuts. How do you think you're going to lose this weight? You're not going to, I cannot guarantee you anything if you don't put in the time. I cannot do that. And neither can you. You have to want it. It's okay that you have to. You never want to have to. It sucks when you have to. It sucks when you feel like, oh my God, where is the next check in the account? If you're the breadwinner, ooh, you know the roller coaster we ride. If you're the breadwinner in this business and you feel that like wind knocked out of your sails, where every one of your transactions is like life or death, where every deal you're doing is like, if I don't get this one, I'm out. If I don't get this one closed, I'm out. Have you felt that? That's a problem. That's a huge problem. If you live in that space, you know what you're doing. You're not being consistent. It's just like a weight loss routine. You drop a couple pounds, then you eat like crap, you flatten out the pounds. You drop a couple of pounds, you eat like crap, you gain the weight. That's what yo-yo dieting is. Are you a yo-yo real estate agent? That 1 month you kick butt, the next month you don't. If you are not putting in the time now, you are not going to get the results later. Just like with health and fitness. If you are not properly dieting and exercising right now, when you take off that shirt on the beach in the summer of the 4th of July, you will know that you failed yourself. You will look back on January 1st when you committed and said, if only I would have stuck to it. You'll look back on April 1st when you said, that's it. It's 100 days. Because right now, I think it's from this recording, it's like 100 days. I always do that. What if I did it for 100 days? So it's like 100 days till the 4th of July or 7th of July right now. And I think, what if I did it? But what if? I think this is my next tattoo. I'm just going to put what if on my arm. Just what if? What if you committed today? What if you said, you know what, that $1,500 to buy James for a couple of hours, for 12 hours, what if I paid it? And then what if I actually applied it? What would that mean for my business a year from now? What would it mean? It would mean a lot. I hope that you guys, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I don't need your money. I got my money. But you need to learn a system and commit to something if you expect to pull out of this one with a bag of cash. You need to sock some money away, and you need to have a financial investment in your future. Get back to work.
People ask me all the time, where do I get my data? How do I have so many good numbers without spending an arm and a leg? Because I recommend you get it from 3 places, and I merge them to create the ultimate white pages. 2 of them are Cole Realty Resources and TelephoneList.biz. They will provide you names, addresses, phone numbers, along with email addresses scrubbed against the do not call list, available for both US and Canada. Now, I do a lot of door knocking, and my favorite app to use is Realty Buddy, a GPS tracking software with robust goal setting and follow-up campaigns. Realty Buddy takes care of the hassle, and Realty Buddy is the success to my door knocking. It's only available on iOS though, so sorry Android, but I will recommend Knockwise. They're really good too. Now, have you seen my amazing local market videos for my real estate business? In one word, Terradatum. They make videos branded to your brokerage and automatically update them every month with videos by zip code, county, city, and your hyper-local market, and it's extremely affordable. Have you guys seen my website lately? Well, you should. It's absolutely gorgeous. I owe it all to Zentap. They will help you with your advertising using your MLS, IDX, and social media to attract an audience and engage your leads using sophisticated bots. Now, you're gonna need a powerful CRM to manage all of this, and as you know, Mojo Selling Solutions is more than just a dialer. It's the most powerful CRM bar none. Mojo provides you expireds for sell by owners, and that is the 3rd list of data, along with email and mail campaigns. For more information on any of these products, along with my personal coaching and training products, go to jamesfestini.com today. Or just show financial support at any amount on patreon.com/James Festini. Now, get back to work.